We're deep in the bush now, boy. I'll tell you what, we got it going on here. But you know what? Today's the day that a lot of you have been waiting for. The day we're going to start the giveaway for the Red Camp stove. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a walkthrough through the Red Camp stove to make you familiar with it. I'm going to tell you why I think or feel that you should have something like this in your outbacking arsenal. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, my name's Dennis, and welcome to LifeForce Unleashed. If you're interested in van life, bushcraft, or off-grid living, you've come to the right place. Welcome. So today we're going to do a walkthrough on this Red Camp stove. I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to show you how to set it up, and we're also going to be doing a giveaway. So what I want you to do, I will tell you all about it towards the end of this video after we get done going through the walkthrough on the Red Camp stove. So what I want you to do is stay to the end of this video, and that's where I'll tell you how you can enter to win one of these Red Camp stoves. I'm so excited for this, and I'm excited for whoever wins this because, well, I got to tell you, after almost 3 years of using this Red Camp stove, man, this is a critical piece of equipment that I have in my arsenal for being out here. So let's get going, let's get started. I'm gonna tell you all about the Red Camp stove. Now that's my Red Camp stove right there. I have it all torn down so that way I can walk you all through it and how to set it up and the features that I like about it. One of the things you're gonna need when you have one of these stoves, and you should have a pair of these anyway, should be a good pair of gloves. Everything turns all black and gets sooty and you don't want to get it all over you. Now what really makes this nice to have this Red Camp stove is it comes in its own bag. And I gotta tell you what, when I put this away when I pack up and move to a different area, that thing comes in pretty handy because they get pretty sooty, being that you're using wood in it to cook. So let's go ahead and pull it out of the bag and we'll show you everything in there. Now it comes in a pretty condensed little package. This thing does a lot of work for something so small. And all you got to do to set it all up is open it up, boom. And then on the inside, we got a grate right there. It's attached to the bottom of the stove, and that goes just like that. And then what else it comes with is a piece of metal that has a couple rails in here. You slide this in, and that makes sure that all your ash and stuff gets caught on this pan. It's an ash pan is what it is. And then the other thing you get with it is one of these nice little handy racks that fit right on top of there just like so. And that's it. That's all it requires to set it all up. Yeah, it doesn't get any easier than that. Pretty light, pretty compact, and it opens up and it gets you a nice big firebox. Now this is all made out of stainless steel, so it is meant to endure the elements. Now, there are a couple of improvements that I did make to this stove, and I can't take credit for it, and I don't remember the person whom I seen do this, but I did it right away when I bought my stove, and it made a big difference. It expanded the usability of this stove immensely, and I'll show you what I did. So the reason why you'd want to do this upgrade that I'm going to show you is because when you're cooking, let's say you have a frying pan, and you have your grate on top, and you put a big frying pan like that on top of here, it's going to cover the whole thing, which is going to cut off any kind of air getting to your wood. So that doesn't work out so well that way. So what I did for an upgrade is I cut a couple pieces of metal bar, which you see right there, and then in the sides of the stove, you can see I cut a little notch here, and a little notch here, and then one over here, and one over here as well. And these are the bars that I use. They're just a metal bar. You can find it in any of your home improvement stores. And so I cut a little notch out there on that end and a little notch out there on that end as well. And those little notches all fit in right there. So that way your bar is sitting on top of the stove like that. And the same way with this one right here, just like that. And what that does, it raises the top up a little bit. It gives you a good 1.5 inches up above the top of the firebox. And that works out really good. When you put your frying pan on there, as you can see, you got air that can get in there now. That makes the stove work much more efficiently than setting the pan right on top. But now when I'm just heating up water, I will just go ahead and I'll put the grate on top, and then I will just set my tea kettle up on top of there like that. And that works perfect. Plenty of air is allowed to get in through the sides, through the corners. So you don't need to use that other apparatus to do this. All right, the next thing I have right here that I did for this stove was in the bottom of the stove. You see, those are pretty wide squares. So, you know, like all your ash and, you know, any of your hot coals are going to fall down there. So what I did is I just took some regular vent grate and I cut it up into pieces and I set that down in there like that. Doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to keep your hot coals from falling down below. So that's all I do, I throw that in there and boom, that's it. Well, there you go, that's how you set up the Red Camp stove. Pretty slick, pretty easy, there's not a whole lot to it. And you know, one of the really nice parts about having a Red Camp stove like this or a wood firebox like this, it doesn't require a tremendous amount of wood to do whatever you need to do, like cooking or heating up water. All it requires is some sticks, little sticks. You know, and you can find those predominantly everywhere you go, whether you're in town or you're out camping, it don't matter. And then I take some wood and I cut a little bit of wood up too, so that way I got bigger pieces. Depending on what I'm doing, you know, if I'm cooking a big meal or something like that, you want the bigger pieces of wood because they'll burn hotter, they'll burn longer. So that way you don't have to keep feeding the stove. All right, let's get this bad boy up and going. I gotta make me some coffee. So all you really need to do is go find yourself some little sticks. I just crumple it all up. I don't build any kind of certain fire. But yeah, just kind of cut them all up. Make sure they all fit in there. There, now we got all our little sticks put in there. And now we're gonna add a couple pieces of bigger wood. So that way as the fire gets going, it'll catch the bigger pieces on fire and the fire will keep on going. So let's get those put in. If you've seen some of my other videos, you see how I buck the wood down and I get it ready for using for this. I'll set this over there. And so we're just gonna grab a couple pieces of wood and we're gonna throw it in here as well. There, and since we're gonna make some coffee, we're just gonna use this grate. We're gonna put it on top. And now we gotta fill up our water jug. Don't you like the nice patina that's been created on my tea kettle? You remember back in the day when this thing was all silver? Not anymore. This thing's been well used and holding up really good, I might add. The thing about it is, it's got one of those inexpensive tea kettles at Walmart. But I'll put a link for Amazon down below if you'd like to go check one out. I highly recommend getting a tea kettle. They come in really handy for everything. There, the water's all filled up. All right, let's put it on the red camp. All right, we got all of our wood put in the red camp wood burning stove. Now let's get it all lit. So over here on my door, I carry a little molly bag, and inside of there I carry my ferro rod, my striker, and anything else I need to start a fire. Now in this particular case, since I'm not using any pine needles or any kind of small debris to get that fire going, what I'll do is I'll take a little piece of cotton and then I'll just take and just put a little bit of that Vaseline on there, and that will help it burn a little bit better to get those sticks going. Now when it comes to lighting fires out here, I really enjoy using the ferro rod. I use this to light all my fires unless it's going to be a big bonfire, then I'll use a torch. But for all of these, for the red camp wood burning stove, I use a ferro rod. If you don't have one of these, you need to get one. That way you can start a fire no matter where you're at and no matter what's going on. You don't need a big lighter, just get one of these. Believe me, trust me, you won't go back to using a lighter to start your fire once you got one. And while you're over there, you might as well pick up a striker. I mean, you can use the back of your knife, depending on what the blade is made out of. Woohoo! Okay, let's light this bad boy up. Now, like I said, I have a cotton ball, and you see me put a little bit of Vaseline on there. It doesn't require much, and the only time I ever use Vaseline on my cotton ball is because I don't have any kindling down in here. All I got is sticks and twigs, and that's going to help that fire stay going a little bit longer than it would if it was just a cotton ball. If it was just a cotton ball, it'd burn up really quick. All right, so one strike. Oop, there we go. Boom. And look at that, folks, we got fire. Just that easy to light one of these. And then after your fire gets going a little bit, just go ahead and close the door. And then that'll channel all the flames up to whatever you're cooking. Once again, I love this magnesium ferro rod. This thing has, look, I've been using this thing for 3 years and it's hardly even used. And I use it literally every day. And of course, I got my striker right there too as well. And it also has a bottle opener on there. All right, there we go. Our fire is going really good. You see how that's channeling all the fire right up to where you need it? And that makes it super efficient. You know, the nice part about this is that with a full teapot like this, it takes around 3 minutes to bring that water to a boil. Now, as you can see from what I put in there, I put just a few sticks and I put a couple bigger pieces in. That's going to be plenty enough to heat that water up to a boil, which is another really good reason to have one of these fire boxes. If for some reason your water gets turned off or your pipes freeze, this makes a really good way to boil your water to have drinkable water, to make potable water. So yeah, I highly recommend getting one of these. You know, even if you don't ever use it, that's fine, but at least you have it just in case.
Yeah, good old buddy. Yeah, you got all this stuff going on.
Okay, now to get to the important part, the part that you probably all have been waiting for, at least a lot of you have been waiting for. How do I win one of these? You said there was going to be a giveaway. How do I win? All right, I'm going to tell you how you can enter into the drawing to be eligible to win one of these Red Camp stoves. Okay, the way this giveaway is going to work is we're going to do the drawing for the giveaway this coming Saturday, which should be December 3rd. You're eligible to win the Red Camp stove if you live in the lower 48 states. Yeah, I know, bummer, right? Yeah, but the shipping costs way too much to send it anywhere else. So if you live in the lower 48 states of the United States, you are eligible to win the giveaway. All right, so all you need to do to enter to win one of these Red Camp stoves is you got to first be a subscriber to the channel. And then the next thing I would like you to do is down below in the comments section, just write hashtag Red Camp Stove. And I'll put it down in the info section down below so you'll know exactly how to write it in the comment section. And that'll make you eligible for the drawing for one of these Red Camp stoves. Now, once again, just to reiterate, you must be a subscriber to the channel and you have to put down hashtag Red Camp Stove down below in the comment section. All right, pretty easy, pretty simple. So good luck to you all out there. I'm really rooting for you. I wish I had one to give to all of you out there, but I only have one. So yeah, bummer. All right, so what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna draw. We'll do that in a video and you'll be able to see who actually won. We use software that will pick out a winner randomly out of the comment section if A, you're a subscriber, and B, you put down hashtag Red Camp Stove. Pretty simple, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I'm so excited to see who wins this. Oh, you're gonna love it. I mean, you're really gonna love this stove. All right, there we go. We've had it on here for about 3 minutes and the fire has died down a little bit. And oh yeah, she's plenty hot enough for coffee, that's for sure. Well, I tell you, she sure is pretty when she's brand new, but you know, that's after about 3 years worth of use. And as you can see, oh, this thing is in really good shape. I mean, there's absolutely no problems with it at all. It is held up incredibly well. Now, this is not a paid promotion, okay? So I'm not being paid to say this. Matter of fact, I reached out to the company, but I never heard back from them. I'm not really sure if they're a Taiwan company or a China company. I'm not really sure where they are out of. But like I said, I reached out to them and I never heard back from them. So I'm doing all this at my expense to give something back to our community. And we're gonna be doing a lot more of them coming up. I'm pretty excited to find out who wins this baby. All right, I think that's pretty much gonna do it for this video for today. So I just wanna tell you all, thank you so much for taking your time to stop by our channel today. It definitely means the world to me. And until little Jackson, I see you again. I hope you're all having an absolutely amazing day. Later.